Ooh, that's too much light. I'll clean this off really quick. There we go. What's up, everybody? ODC here, obviously. I'm kind of doing this video as a more of a test. I just got a new phone. I got an iPhone 11. Finally, after 8 years of having the same phone, I finally have a new phone. So I wanted to kind of check it out and see how this goes. I did get a JoyToy set in, so we're going to unbox that. But I also wanted to kind of use this as like a testing to see how well the camera is on this, on the iPhone 11. This is not the Pro, it's just a regular 11, but I wanted to try it out and see how it looks. So we're going with that. I might flip this around and see how the actual camera is looking. So let's go ahead and do that. I also picked up a set, a set that I got from the Austin St. John .biz website. Austin St. John, obviously the original Red Ranger. He was actually selling the set for I think 120. And I picked it up for 120. It is signed by him. It's sold by him. And yeah, it looks really good. It's a nice, it's the SDCC Red Ranger, Gold Ranger set. So you'll see that in the background as well. So there's that right there. But this is the real reason you're here, is to see the JoyToy stuff. So I'm going to try and figure out a way to prop this up. Hopefully the camera is okay. Let me wipe this camera off really quick, just so we can see how clear this is. My lighting is not the best. There we go. It's a little bit better lighting right there. Get something to prop this up, and then we're going to open it. So like I said, this is just a quick little video just to kind of test out this this camera. So there's that. I'll probably be doing a live review over the weekend. I do have all of Sunday off from work, so that's pleasant. Let's see if I can check out there we go. Okay. Dem Guts, what's up? Jossie, what's going on? Zorpox, Gaz, hello. Strawberry Fields, Action Figure Expert, hello. All right, so I picked up this set, and for some reason this set has become more and more sought after. I don't know really why. Maybe it's the more realistic theme of the set, but I picked it up. I got a pretty decent price on it. Not going to complain too much. And this is the Force Recon set from JoyToy, obviously. This is the 1/18 scale set. I initially wasn't actually going to even get this set because I just didn't see the big allure to it. But then once I realized they all have kind of unique head sculpts to themselves, I was like, yeah, you know what? It is a little bit, I guess I do find it a little bit more intriguing because of that, because there are, I've noticed that there are some, can't talk. There are quite a few of reused heads. We're going to pop these all open too, and because I want to see how well this is. It does come with a 6th box, which is just another clear case. That's what usually comes with all the sets. This set is a little bit harder to find now. For some reason, it's sold out. I think it would be smart on JoyToy's part to re-release this, maybe do a second run like they did with the U.S. Marine Corps, and maybe re-release these for a lot of people. But Tim Casa, how's it going? But let's go ahead and start with the first the first figure, which is, I think this is the sniper of the team. And when I do the live reviews, I'm probably not going to go through packaging again, just because you don't like B's head. Which one's, oh, B? Oh, this guy? Kind of reminds me of, like, B kind of reminds me of like a cross between like Crazy Legs, a little bit of Crazy Legs in there because he's got the goggles on the hat, and then he's got the microphone. It would be cool if he was actually a paratrooper. I feel like this would be like a more modernized Crazy Legs. I don't know. For some reason, it's just I think it's just the hat and the goggles that really reminds me of it. Okay, so you do have to put their stuff on. I want to assume that most of these teams that come like this, you have to put their stuff on. I did heat up the entire box before opening up these figures. I haven't had a chance to hit them with a heat gun because obviously I'm just unboxing them really quick. But this guy looks pretty cool. The headset. Try and get him in here as close as possible. Hopefully the camera is sufficient enough here. I know this is not the best lighting to work with either. It's just kind of overhead lighting, which is shit. But he is the sniper of the team, and I want to say that this is maybe an M110 rifle. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm guessing here. But let me just get my hand in here so it can focus. But that's what it looks like to me. It does come with a bipod. How much did each figure cost? You have to buy them in a set. They don't sell them separately. So the set initially went for $80. For some reason now it's very sought after. It goes for around $100. I want to say it's maybe due to the unique head sculpts. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit more of that Ghost Recon Wildlands feel to them. I don't know. But he does come with this rifle. I'm going to kind of keep the focus on the figure itself. But he does come with a belt, which is pretty cool. A tack vest. And I do plan on getting the U.S. Marine Corps team too, so it does come with 2 leg harnesses, a sidearm pistol, and there's the teeny little bipod. All right, let me just, oops, sorry, I'm putting my hands in the way. We got the, Kyle, we have the Armed Forces Force Recon team. So I'm just kind of showing off the first figure. This is figure D in the set. Remove the headset. Give me G36, it's my character in Wildlands. Oh yeah, you can't remove the headset. It's all sculpted on, so. All the head sculpts, everything's sculpted on, so you can't remove anything. So it's not really like Marauders, where you can just remove stuff, unfortunately. But pretty cool. I was just playing Wildlands for a little bit. Which one am I going to open up next? We'll go with E. We'll go backwards. Or technically in order, since I started off with D, I should have went with E. But then we'll go backwards after E. But I do like the green color. Green's my favorite color. I do like the green. It's very odd that these cases are very inconsistent, though. Look at the difference in haziness in the case on to your right, and then the haziness to the left. It's like this one's clear, this one's super hazy. It's very odd. And then you got another hazy one right here. I'll compare hazy with hazy. Should be a code name Hazy. All right, so the next guy is the other headset guy. This guy does not have a hat on. I'm going to kind of shift his stuff over and out of the way, and then we'll move him over. So we'll just start off with these guys, kind of with their stuff out of the way. Let me get this out of the way too. Nothing's trying to focus on anything else besides the figures at hand. Okay, so like I said, I like the tan with the green. I think it's a nice little change of pace from the traditional camo BDU. This guy has a microphone sculpted to his head, which is pretty nice. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. He also comes with a plethora of different stuff. He comes with what looks to be like a vector crisp. I don't know. It looks like a modified one. So there's that. This camera is so much better than my old phone. My good Lord. My old phone was 8 years old. I just got this phone yesterday. It's so much better. Same leg harnesses as the other guy. They all kind of have the same stuff. Similar stuff. And then we have a different, I want to say this is a different belt from the other guy's belt. As you can see here, the attachments are a little bit different. And the belt itself is sculpted differently. So it's nice to have that differentiation between one guy and the other. If I can focus here. There we go. Woodman, what's going on? He comes with a pistol as well. Same pistol. Kind of wish that they got different pistols. He comes with an axe where the other guy did not come with an axe. And he comes with a tack vest that has a backpack already attached. Now, I have seen a lot of people complain about these backpacks. I am pretty sure that you can open this backpack right here and you can put stuff inside. So you can do that if you want to put stuff in there. I like the sculpted detail of the grenades on the side here. That looks pretty nice. And then on the other side, the sculpt of the backpack looks really good. It's got a little holster right here in case you want to put another gun, or if you want to put the axe there, you can just simply bim bim salabim, shebang shebang, ting tang walla walla bang bang. Put the axe right there. So that's really nice. I like that. That looks good. And then I have seen a lot of people complain about the backpacks kind of throwing off the weight of the figure. I could probably see that happening. And if you wanted to disassociate or remove this vest from the backpack, you probably could. It's just on there with glue. So I think I like the aesthetics of the backpack, though. And I'm pretty sure that I've seen this figure standing with the backpack on without an issue. I've even seen people pose him with the backpack on his tippy toes. So if they can do it, we can do it. All right, so we'll move his stuff over here just so I can make room for the rest of the figs. All right, there we go. With that, I don't want to be rude and hope I'm not missing anybody's stuff. Yeah, I finally got a new phone. Thank the Lord. I'm not a religious man, but thank God I finally got this phone. Because my old phone was only charging up to about 10% in battery. So I was like, okay, time to get it. Time to do something about it. And I actually got the phone for free, so that was even better. Okay, next one we'll do, we said we were going to go backwards, so let's go with C. C looks very much nomadish from Wildlands, so I can get down with that. Whew. I still think it's a shame that I have to rip these boxes open just to get them open. I do kind of like the card artwork, but they're just boxes at the end of the day. They're just going to go in the garbage either way, because I really, unless the figure is mint on card, which with these specific figures, I don't know if you really want to keep these guys mint on card. They don't really hold too much of an aesthetic when they're mint on card. They're just kind of in a box. You want to take them out, you know. You want to play around with these guys. I don't know how rough you'd want to play around with these guys because they might break, but you want to get them in hand is what I mean. I have to admit, after seeing your last vid, I ordered some of these guys. Thank you for Wallet H you. You're welcome, I guess. All right, so we've got Nomad here. Is what I'm gonna call this guy because that's pretty much what he looks like. Obviously, different colors and such. Let me get my hand. Let me move them out of the way because the camera keeps wanting to focus on them. And then I'll get in here. It's very dark. I'm sorry. I apologize. There we go. That's better. So you can really get a good look at him. I think it looks very nice. Hopefully I'm not covering up the microphone. I don't even know what the hell the damn microphone is on this thing. I think it's on the back of the phone. But the head sculpt looks really nice. Definitely, if he had a red t-shirt on, I'd be like, this is hands down Nomad. Can't wait to get those red t-shirts, though, from Marauders. That's going to be fantastic. I can finish my Nomad, finally. But I really like Nomad as a character. I think he's pretty cool. I like his look. There we go. So this is pretty nice. And he comes with the same kind of modified, updated, like, vector style gun. I don't know what type of gun this actually is. Please let me know. It looks like a Vector Crisp, but the barrel looks a little bit different. So there's that. He also comes with, excuse me, burp. The same, I think they all come with the same tack vest except for the backpack guy. I want to say that they do, and I'm seeing that I think they do. There we are. So there's the same vest. Here's the back of the vest in case you were inquiring. Comes with a radio on the back and another pouch. And you can mix and match if you don't like. If you want to have this guy maybe look a little bit more like Nomad, you can switch them up. And if you have more other sets, you can give them different stuff. Why is this not focusing? Come on. But this is the same belt that the hat headset guy went with, which I want to say looks more like Holt. This looks like Holt to me. That looks like Nomad. And all you would need is what, maybe this could be, I don't know. You don't have the other two because there's not an African-American guy in here or a black guy in here. So, but he comes with a pistol, same leg harnesses, stuff. So there's that for, we'll just call him Nomad here. So here's the three that we have so far. I'll get up close and personal. Sorry for the hand in the damn face. And like I said, I do apologize for the lighting, but you'll get a full review on these guys. I'm still kind of debating which ones I want to do a review on. I might do a review. The first review I might do might be on my favorite of the JoyToy figures that I own so far. So you'll have to wait to see which one it is. Who could it be? I don't know. Holland Brits, how's it going? Hello. S. Myers, how you doing? You finally made it. All right, we'll go with B next. And obviously A is, I'm guessing, the leader of the team. There we go. Let's keep these bags and everything in the little cases. Oreo's doing yoga right now. Oh, there goes that top. Falling on the floors. All right. So, and like I said, I'll probably be doing a review Sunday. Sunday is probably the best day for me to do this. Is this the front of his neck? No, that's the front of his neck, you dipshit. There we go. All right. Got the Russian Army Team 3-pack on the way. Nice, man. Is that the re-engineering team, Myers? S. Myers? The re-engineering team's you're gonna have a lot of gluing to do. It took me like at least 30 minutes to glue all his shit together. I don't think I mind this guy. I don't like his little man bun or shitty ponytail in the back, but he does give off the Crazy Legs vibe. Or maybe like a combination of Crazy Legs and Mouse from Retaliation. But I don't mind the uniqueness of him. Let me get him in here. Come on. Like I said, I heated up the entire packaging before I even opened it. That's too close. Sorry, too close. Got to give the camera some time to adjust. There we go. But you definitely see some Crazy Legs in here. As I've said that numerous times already. You guys are probably like, shut up about Crazy Legs already. But, I mean, I guess I don't mind it. He does have a little microphone sculpted onto the head. He does have this, like, weird ponytail on the back of his head. Which, looks like a turd. She's got a turd cutter head. I don't know what I'm talking about. They do have United States symbols on their arms, on both, which is pretty nice. So you do know that this is like a U.S. Recon team, Special Forces Recon team. It's like a rat tail or something. But, I mean, at least it gives him a unique look, feel, quality to him. Also comes with the same gun. Might switch this up with somebody else. Let me show that better. There you go. Same gun. And same vest. Same vestibule. Same belt with attachments as the first guy. Harnesses. And I got to give you guys a little bit of a heads up on the leg harnesses, how to put those on during the review, but we'll get to that. I would definitely heat these up. Oh boy, there we go. Sorry. Anyway, so I would definitely heat these up, especially on the part where you're putting it on first. This is the thinner part to go onto the thigh. You're going to want to heat this up and then kind of stretch it out a little bit. What I found to be useful that doesn't poke holes or anything like that is I actually use a box cutter, and I kind of use the soft, rounded edges of the box cutter. Not the actual blade, but the box cutter metal, and I kind of just push out on the sides after I heat this up, and then it just slides right on the leg very easily. So just a little heads up for that. Put his stuff over here. And then we'll get to the leader, which is the last one. Sorry, you're not even looking at them. I apologize for that. Like I said, new phone, just getting used to it. I probably should have used my iPad, but it is what it is. Tis what it tis. Oh, wait, did I take the other one out of that? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, and this is the leader of the crew. And he comes with an actual Vector Crisp. So the other ones are modified ones. I'll have to look them up before I do the review so I can give you the actual information on it. But it's pretty cool. I like this guy quite a bit. It looks nice. Nice head sculpt. Very unique. I don't think anybody's reused this head sculpt. Like I said, the majority of these are new head sculpts. So maybe that's why people went nuts for them. And let's move Nomad to the side here. And then we'll bring in the leader of the crew. I mean, you could really make anybody the leader that you want, but I'm just going with what they have here. That's the cool thing about your figures. You can do whatever the hell you want with them. And then all of them come with like a little card. I guess for showing you how to put on stuff or what they come with, just a breakdown. There's a lot of Chinese writing on there, so there we are. Let's put our tops back on these cases. And then, like I said, he comes with an actual true Vector, which looks nice. So that's nice that he comes with something different. And to compare this with what I was talking about, here you have the two. Let's back up a little bit. And obviously you can see similarities there, but when are the mechs coming out? Any idea? Hold on a second. The 1/18 scale Freeman mech I picked up from Big Boy Collectibles. I just got it in a couple days ago. I was going to do a video about it, but I knew these guys were coming out too, so I was going to include that with this video. But yeah, this is the Freeman 1/18 scale mech. You can fit the driver inside. I kind of just have him chilling right here. All of these pieces right here, all of these little canisters, they all come separate, and you kind of just have to plug them in. This is also a separate piece as well. So there's that. On the back of the figure, that's what the back looks like. There are some ratchet joints with this figure. I'm going to do a full review on this as well. Don't worry. I'm going to try and get this whole line done, regardless of how long it takes me to get it done, but it will get done. But here's a close-up of the driver. He does have a man bun. They're really big on man buns. There we go. A unique head sculpt for the driver, which is pretty cool. The vest is okay. He's shirtless underneath that vest, but I think it fits the bill for the driver. It's probably not going to be everybody's favorite design, but he's just a driver anyway, or, you know, or a pilot. Excuse me, that's what they're called. And what was it? Someone snapped the photo, or someone didn't snap a photo, but someone was revealing new figures from JoyToy, and they had a Titanfall rug and a poster on the wall. So you can see where the obvious design ideas came from, but it's definitely confirmed now. All this everything's painted on this. You don't really have to put too much together. The instructions when it comes with is pretty self-explanatory. I really like that this is actually a pistol right here in his hand. And you can actually use that pistol if you want to have him hold the gun and the pistol in like a pose or whatever. You can actually take this pistol out of there, and I'll show you that right now, what I'm talking about, because you're probably like, what the hell is he talking about? I don't know how I'm going to do this. Let's see if I can get something to hold this up. Aha. We'll do this, and then we'll do some of this. Put the glass right here, and then we'll just aim this down. Hopefully this stays. I don't think it's staying. You're still moving? Yeah, you're still moving, aren't you, you little jerk? There we go. Now it's not moving. All right, so what you want to do here, hopefully that does not fall. Let's take the driver off. These are individual articulated fingers right here, and then we'll get to the leader, which I didn't get to because I have horrible ADD and I can't focus on one thing at a time. But here's the gun, and the pistol comes out like that. So it's very easy. It's a nice little storage thing, so you don't have to constantly worry about this pistol getting lost or something like that. And that also fits into his hands. You can also store this onto his back. There's a little peg hole right here, and there's a peg right there, and this comes as a separate piece. You kind of have to plug that into the gun, or you can plug that into the hole right there. And then you just want to kind of pop that in, like so. And then it stays like that. So if you just want to have him hold his pistol, you can do that as well. So that's pretty nice. It's just that simple. And then opening up the cockpit, it's just a hinge joint. And there's another hinge joint down here, which is a little bit stiff. And there goes the phone. And there goes the phone. Thank God I bought a case for it, because are you gonna stay? You better stay, you son of a bitch. Yeah, it's still moving. Still moving. Okay. Let's see. What can I do here? Bear with me. Brand new phone goes flying off the damn shelf. All right, so with this, hopefully that doesn't. If that does fall, it won't fall down on the ground. But I did get a durable case for it, so there's no issue. Anyway, there it is, open, like so. And then you just take this guy. Kind of want to not decapitate him like I just did. You can also take like all this stuff off. If you want to take that belt off, you can. There we go. And then just want to slide him right in there, like so. And he is kind of a little bit annoying to get in, but once you have him in, he sits right in there. And you got to be careful of these pegs right here, because those are his handles for the mech. You kind of want to get his arm up and back. Don't force anything, just kind of ease it in. Or just rip his head off. I kind of wish that these were articulated. I'm not sure if they are. Yes, they are. They are. You can move these back and forth. So we'll put his head on last, I guess. Just do that. Go. Come on, buddy. There we go. His head kind of wants to get in the way, but you can get him in there and holding on to everything. Might actually be easier if the head's already on. But I mean, you get my drift. That was the gun that fell out of his thing there, his holster. And now he just got decapitated again. Okay. So, come on, get in your mech, you little shit. I had 0 issues yesterday. Now we're having an issue with fitment. And I'm not trying to force anything because I don't want these handles to snap off. Go in. There we go. Just keep easing him in, like so, and now his head fell off again. All right. Guess what, buddy? Your head's getting glued tonight because you're starting to piss me off. Where's your head? You've lost your head. There we go. Okay. But he can fit in there, like I said. I swear he can fit in there. Normally with no issues, but let's see. Check Boobo Collectibles, and it's not on the site anymore. He should have still some in stock. I think he got a total of 4 of them in, and that was I want to say last week. I know he sold out of the navy blue one. The sand one he still should have there. I don't know. I'd have to check myself, but I'm determined to get him in here. He went in with 0 issues. Now all of a sudden he's having like massive. There we go. All right, come on. Now keep your head on this time. Like I said, it's kind of a tight fit in here, which is kind of annoying. I wish they made the mech a little bit deeper. And then getting his hand on there. Get his other hand over here. Just kind of have to keep working with it. Use those hinges. Come on. go. There we go. There, see? See, I need more patience in my life. And then just bring this up. This hinge on mine is a little bit stiff. This one on the bottom, but like I said, you can fit right in there, no issues. So just kind of have to keep playing with it, and he'll eventually get in there. So these guys, if you buy them on like an American site, I think they're ranging around on average around $130. But if you buy them on Locker Toys, I think they're a lot cheaper. I think they're around $90. So, and this is, if you're wondering how exactly tall this is as far as scale, like I said, this is 1/18 scale. So they'll scale with your G.I. Joes. They'll scale with your Boss Fight Studio stuff. They will scale with, obviously, these figures, which I'm knocking all over the place. They'll scale with all of your 1/18 scale figures. It also runs around I think just about 12 inches, maybe a little bit less than 12 inches tall. So there's that, but you have the option of the handgun, or you have the option of this big kind of like Gatling gun, futuristic looking Gatling gun, which is really nice. And like I said, here's the full design of it. You got these like kind of tubes that are removable. It's kind of like the ammunition for the gun, which is pretty cool. And like I said, all of his fingers are individually articulated, which is pretty cool. Pretty nice. I feel like I'm doing the review already. What's the point of me doing a review in the future? But he can hold his gun just fine, and he's got this. And you can also remove the hand if you want to. You can remove the hand. That's no big deal if you want to kind of maybe have him grip this the way you want to have him grip it. First, put the hands on, and then attach them after. You can go that route. I would suggest moving this, swiveling that. And like I said, the shoulder joints, the elbow joints are on ratchets, so you're not going to break it. I do tend to worry about ratchets over time. They tend to break down, but I think this will be just fine. And you can also lubricate the ratchet joints if you want to. But he can hold everything. He has a nice pivot right here on there. We'll get into all that in the review, though. But he can hold everything nicely. So there's the Freeman mech. And here is finally the last figure of this set, which is the leader of the Force Recon team. So really nice, unique sculpt for him. Looks pretty good. Very pleased with it overall. Like I said, they do have the United States flag logos on each arm, which is nicely done. This camera's looking a little bit blurry right now. It's like it's trying to focus on too much. I'm trying to make it do too many things. There we go. But overall, this team looks pretty cool. Maybe I'll do a full review on it, since I pretty much just feel like I just did a review on it just now. But with all of them geared up and stuff, that's what I'll do. Showing, because I do want to show you guys some tips on how to do things. I noticed some other reviewers don't actually put everything together properly, so I want to be the one to show you how to do that and maybe give you a little bit more of an in-depth look on how to work things with these guys, kind of discuss more quality control concerns, or if there are any, in detail. So that's what I like to do with mine. I try to get as in-depth as possible with my figure reviews. So that's why they're a little bit longer, and that's why I try to do them live. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, I can address them during the review. But that's pretty much it for this team, I think. And that's, yeah, I'll have to check. You know what? I'll go ahead and I'll do that right now. While you guys are staring at them, I'll check Big Boy Collectibles and see what they're doing. See if he's got any more in stock. could possibly be right, but I'm pretty sure I just checked a day or so ago, and he had some. Or I think he had a couple in stock. Come on, iPad, what are you doing? He might have sold them. He might have sold out because he did post some stuff. Let's go to JoyToy. Let's see. He might have sold out. You could possibly be right, but I'll confirm that. Yeah, I don't see it on his site, so maybe he must have sold out. He still does have the steel bone armor, which is 124 scale, but that can scale with these guys. They won't be able to fit a 118 scale driver in that, but I think it's a really quality set. And I actually picked one up myself, and I actually plan on using the actual driver comes with something. So I might use that guy as a dwarf or a little person. Let me check and see if the pre-order is still up for it, because if he took it all the way down, then maybe that's all he's getting. But you can't always go to, like I said, Locker Toys has them, the navy one and the sand one. Yeah, no, he must have sold out. He must have sold out. I'll have to shoot him a message and see what he says. If he's getting any more, and then I can let you guys know in the review. Or I'll just, I'll post it on my Facebook page. Or the Strident page. I'll post it on both. Yeah, BBTS still has them. Locker Toy still has them. I'm not even sure if Entertainment Earth holds them. I can check for you. They might. And the verdict is no, they don't. So Entertainment Earth does not stock JoyToy figures. So. Nope, they do not have it. So you don't even have to look there. So yeah, I guess you have. Let me see what they're going for on the Evil Bay. The cheapest on eBay is starting bid is at $85.99, $89.99 with free shipping or best offer. You have $94.99, and then you have $129.99 and another $129.99. So you have your options. There's a couple auctions on eBay. One auction has 10 available at the price of $89.99. So you might want to jump on that. I paid a little bit more of, I think it was like $130 for this guy, but I also got him sooner. So I know there's still pre-orders up for this, but Jose had it in stock, and I was like, yep, give me that. Please, thank you. So I snagged it. Pretty happy with it. I'm even happy still paying $130 for it. So I'm always pretty honest with you guys. So not pretty honest, but I'm always honest with you guys. So is this JoyToy upper and lower a peg? Wait, is the JoyToy upper and lower body a peg? It's a ball peg. So you have a ball. I'll just take one apart. I'll show you. It's very easy. Actually, since he was falling apart, let me get these guys out of the way, and I'll get the... He wasn't falling apart. I was just handling and manhandling the shit out of him. So we'll get the driver out. He's going to lose his head again. Oh, no, he didn't lose his head. There we go. Okay, so everything is pretty much a ball peg with these. Let me get this out of the way, too. All right, so everything's out of the way. We can focus here. I'll do a full teardown. Okay, you ready? So with the legs, you kind of want to, first of all, you really want to heat these guys up. I've heated him up already, but he still feels a little bit stiff. But if you're just trying to take away the torso, you can take the upper torso piece apart. You can take the lower torso piece apart. And you can see that's a ball peg. And then you have two other ball pegs attaching to the legs with a rubbery crotch piece, which is actually not a bad rubbery crotch piece, which is pretty well done. Now, the knee joints are pegs. That's a peg. And then you have your swivel, obviously, for the knee joint. The feet are pegs, just like the knee joints. So it's very kind of similar to how the Marvel Legends kind of peg into the feet. It's kind of like on an angle, so you kind of want to point the peg going a little bit forward like that to put that peg in there. The toes are obviously on a hinge, but it's very easy to kind of pop these guys apart. The mid torso piece is a peg hole, and like I said, there's the peg hole for the upper torso piece. And like I said, this is removable. You can take this vest off if you want, and you can have him bare bones if you want to, or you can leave him with the vest on, which I actually like him with the vest on. It's not too bad. It looks a little armored. Where did his gun fly off to? Oh, here it is. His gun does kind of fit a little bit loose for a change in his holster, which is a little odd. I guess if you really wanted to, you could kind of have him with this crew. If you really wanted to, they do kind of go together. The green and the tan pants. Obviously, these pants are a little bit lighter than these. These are more of like a true khaki. This is more of like a white khaki. But, it's not a fashion show, I get it, but, you could have them as a team have their uniformity, and you could go that route. So if you wanted to have this guy kind of patrolling with them, you could do that. Or maybe they're on a crazy mission somewhere else. Let me get him out of here. Put him over there. Now you get yourself a full team right there, my friend, with a mech in the back. So you could go that route if you want to. Like I said, I'm just throwing out ideas. It's not like it's any crazy ideas or anything like that. But still a pretty cool team. Like I said, let me flip the camera back around so I can talk to you guys. Yeah, I'm really liking this line. It's kind of really, I want to say between this, Marauders, and some of the Eagle Force stuff that's coming out, which is pretty cool. I got to say that I'm pretty pleased with not having G.I. Joe around. I know there's a lot of G.I. Joe purists out there, and they like G.I. Joe, and I love G.I. Joe too. You guys have seen my collection. I don't have to explain it. I don't have to explain anything to anybody, but this is kind of filling that void of where Pursuit of Cobra ended. This is between Marauders and JoyToy and a plethora of other lines that we're getting from like Chinese or Japanese markets, or American markets for that matter. It's really like, unless the new G.I. Joe stuff blows my hair back, which I don't have any hair, so blows my skin back, then I'll be passing probably on a lot of Joe stuff in the future, because this is more down my alley than anything. And if they go more Future Soldier, stuff like that, let me let my dog out. If they go more Future Soldier, stuff like that, I'll be even more in, because with those and the mechs, and if they mix the Future Soldier and maybe a little bit of Titanfall 2, more so in with, I would like a Titanfall 2-esque driver set. There is a mounted 124 scale. I think it's called like mounted troop set. But if you look at all those designs, they look like they would be a Titanfall pilot. All that whole crew, even the big guy with the big gun, looks. It's a pretty nice set. I kind of wish that was a 118 scale set. I really do. But yeah, thank God this phone is so much nicer than my old one. Oh my Lord! You guys want to see my old phone? Holy shit! You're gonna laugh. All right, so it's been charging for 2 days now. Now let's see what we're at. Oh my God, a whopping 33%. But this is my old phone. It's pretty funny. This is my old phone that I've had for 8 years. It is a HTC One, which is pretty funny. And this is an outer box that I've had for 8 years. This is the same case that I've had with this phone forever. Obviously, you can see there's a little crack there and there. But the phone actually works. It's just deciding not to hold like a charge. And as soon as I hit 30% with this phone and I turn it on, it just goes like right through the battery. It's just terrible. So, but so I don't know if I want to get rid of this phone. I had a lot of fond memories in this phone, or with this phone. Let's see if you guys have any questions. I know Locker Toys ships from China. That's all I know. I haven't had anybody complain about Locker Toys shipments or anything like that. They even have a return policy, so I don't think you guys have an issue with that. I really don't. Hasbro better step up their game. Their game. I can't talk. I need to drink some water. I'm probably dehydrated. You said what was that? JME Perez. Jamie, I'm guessing. Maybe is that Jamie Perez? Yeah, I agree. They better step up their game. They need to. So I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah, I'm not really too into the 6-inch Joes. I mean, I know that's like a lot of people like it and good for them. It's not my thing. I have too many Joes that are 118 scale, and I actually think the reason why I even say I pound the table for 118 scale Joe figures is because you can put them, even though they're still a little out of scale, you can still put them with your Transformer stuff if you want to do Transformer and G.I. Joe stuff. So if you get them in 6-inch, you kind of just got to be, you really got to want 6-inch Joes to really want to get into that. Because, you know, where do you put them? Just on I guess they're on a shelf by themselves, you know? It's kind of like starting all over again. But I do see a lot of very odd reasons why people don't want to say 6-inch Joes. They're just like, no, it's stupid. And I'm like, it's not stupid. They're trying to make money, and I get it. And the 6-inch figures are successful, so I understand that. But I guess it comes down to personal preference. Maybe Marvel Legends, but Joes and Marvel Legends don't really mix. I don't know. I know there will be a whole bunch of people that army build them and use them for not necessarily what Joes are being meant for, is probably fodder, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, I might get like some of my favorite characters, but that'll probably be it. And I might not get any, even if, depending on who's doing it. If Hasbro's doing it, I might get just my favorite characters. If Jazzwares is doing it, I'm like, I don't know. Personally, I know a lot of people like the Fortnite stuff. I don't really care for Fortnite. And I don't really, I mean, I've handled the Fortnite figures. I know what they're like. Because my girlfriend's son owns them, and I've handled them and played with them, and I'm just like, eh. You're on the same boat, depending on what the, yeah. I think, I mean, I'm definitely, I wouldn't, I mean, some people are setting their hair on fire. They're like, oh my God, it's the death of 1/18 scale Joes. And I'm like, come on, man. First of all, it's been dead for 4 years almost. So, like, this wouldn't be the death of it. It's already been dead. Um, uh, when you're talking about 1/18 scale figures, Jazzwares or Hasbro are going to do 1/18 scale figures too. They know that there's a market. They would have to be complete and utter morons to not. Both companies would have to be completely stupid to not do 1/18 scale figures. I just wonder on the quality of the 1/18 scale figures. I don't know if they can beat this quality. That's the thing. They can't beat this paint and they can't beat the quality of here. Now, these are meant for adults. Those are going to be meant for being played with. Like, you know how you can take a Joe and kind of toss it down a flight of stairs and not really have to worry about it all that much? Well, these, you throw these down a flight of stairs and they're probably going to crack, bend, break, snap, paint, rub. These are meant for like displaying and taking photos and doing stuff like that. But you got to also take care of these guys. They're not going to be as durable as like a regular $10 to $15 GI Joe. These are, I want to say in a set they're $80. So that's, oh God, I'm bad with head math. So I think some of them are around like the $20, $25 mark. Actually, they'd be around $15 a piece, something like that. Anyway, that's it. Just goes to show you how bad my head math is. Math and science, my two no subjects. English, history, gotcha. My mother was an English teacher and she was a principal, so she constantly corrected my sister and I with when it came to you're not going to get accessories very much. What accessories? You're not going to get accessories very much for sure. With 1/18 scale Joes, yeah, I mean, who knows? With 6-inch Joes, who knows even more? I mean, you can't really do a build-a-figure. You kind of have to go the Star Wars, the Black Series route and put all of your budget into the sculpt, the detail, like that. You can't reuse bodies. That's the thing. I know Hasbro's done it for years with 1/18 scale figures, but if you're coming out with a new line, a 6-inch line, you got to go the Black Series route. You got to incorporate some cloth stuff. I think some cloth things would make sense. Now, obviously not hats. You want those plastic and stuff. But you got to really go all out if you're going to do that to, like I said, blow people's hair back. Because if you're not, it's just going to be, your typical comic book Marvel Legends. And at the end of the day, while they look cool and the thought of them is cool, they're not nearly as good as when you get them in hand. They're good enough for a shelf and they're good enough for regular collecting, but it's not that like, you know. And obviously it's a $21 figure going at $21, $22 figure. So it's kind of hard to compare and let's say they're probably going to up 1/18 scale figures to around $15 if they do 1/18 scale. And these are around 25. Some of them are $35 like from JoyToy. So you got to be invested in JoyToy if you're going to do that, or if you just want to get like a couple figures here and there. But it's kind of a toss-up. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, I don't have the budget for JoyToy. And I totally get that. It's expensive. And you're not going to get the durability that you would with a Hasbro or probably a Jazzwares figure. But you get more detail. Yeah, I think you definitely get a little bit better proportions. I just like the way these guys are set up better than Joe's, to be honest with you. But this is the route that Pursuit of Cobra should have continued, and this is the route they should have went. You could see they were already going that route when they had mechs too in the Pursuit of Cobra line. They had a Joe mech and they have the Cobra mech. I have the Cobra mech downstairs, which I got to go see. Actually, so we'll travel together. Travel into the basement. Oh my God. Mr. Potato Head? Oh, what's he doing? What are you doing, Or? What are you doing? Huh? Coming downstairs? Good boy. Where is this mech? It's really dark down here, so I apologize for the darkness. I think I showed this before to you guys. I'm just trying to find the mech to kind of give you a little comparison as to how things have changed. Here it is. This is the Cobra mech. The Joe mech is somewhere. I have no, oh my God, Lord. I don't know. Oh my God. This thing looks like it's not even a comparison with the Freeman mech. It's not even close. Oh my Lord. The Freeman mech makes it look like a little toy. So there's a little comparison with those. Sorry for the mess everywhere. I'm still packing. But it's pretty funny. So I can't afford Marauders because you can buy prices at a time. So I can't afford to pay $30 a figure at one time. Yeah, and that's fine. And the cool thing about Marauders is that you don't have to do that. You can buy your figure in pieces at a time, you know? One piece is like 29 cents or 30 cents or 15 cents, you know? So you can slowly build your figure if you need to, you know? Any issues with paint rub on any of the new figures? Yes. None of these guys, obviously. The only one I've had severe paint rub is the re-engineering Russians, the Cyborg. It seems like the earlier figures, and that was some of the earlier figures, and they also run a little bit shorter, the Russian Cyborg guys. It seemed like they didn't quite perfect the paint yet. And it seems like, you know, this is a smaller company. It's a newer company on top of that. And it seems like they had not perfected things yet when it comes to, like, some of the joints popping off or snapping. I want to attribute that to some collectors not heating up their joints first. That's what I'd like to think, because I haven't had no issues with any breakage or anything like that. So I want to say that it's coming down to a little bit of ignorance on collectors' parts, which is not a big deal because, you know, I've done silly things like pull a figure out of package and snap it before. Not to say that I haven't had a lot of quality control concerns with like NECA figures and stuff like that, but that's a different topic. We're not talking about that. But with these figures in general, I gotta stay on target here. With these figures in general, I have had very little issues, and I've been kind of playing around with them quite a bit the last few days. So, personally, no. Only one figure on a grander scale of, what, I got 6 people here, and there's a whole bunch up there. Out of the majority, it's a minority. But I feel like the earlier figures had some issues. So maybe stay away from the Cyborg guys. I heard it's mostly their hands, and the silver paint is really dainty with the earlier figures. Have I had a chance to play around with the Woo mech? Yeah, the backpack keeps falling out, which is kind of annoying. So I might just glue that in, but you could just glue it in. If you want to keep it removable, just kind of have some wherewithal that it could possibly just keep popping off. The peg is actually deep, and the hole, or the peg is actually pretty long, and the hole is oak. It's pretty. It's decent, but with the vest, the tack vest on, it kind of gets in the way. And the tack vest on mine, I kind of had to reform it. I had to heat it up separately and then reform it because it was kind of crooked and wanting to go off the side of his shoulder. And it's still kind of wanting to do that, which I think is throwing off the backpack and making that peg kind of push out. But that's really the only issue I have. His thigh is a little bit loose. That's not the end of the world. That's something I can fix, but it's not loose to the point where it's like doing this, you know. So I haven't had any issues with the Woo figures, the War of Order. That's what that stands for. In pocket figures. Hey, I'm like super dehydrated. So much salt in this area. I can't wait to get the hell out of here. Get me the hell out of here. When deconstructing, sorry, Rich, I missed your thing. When deconstructing the JoyToy figures, can the shoulders pop out of the torso? I know the bicep can pop off the shoulder easily enough. I want to give one of my current Dark Source figures a robot arm. I can tell you right now. Let me set this down. And let me pop this head off. The head does, on some of them, it does pop off rather simply. Kind of wish that, there goes the gun again. I kind of wish that the peg would sit a little bit deeper on the head and the neck joint. I don't think that the arms pop out. I really don't. And the shoulder joint on mine is kind of pulling a little bit on that side. I'd have to really heat this up. Maybe I'll do that in a future review. I don't think the arms want to pop out, though. Don't quote me, though. It doesn't seem like they're giving. Yeah, it doesn't. It looks like they're in there. But like I said, don't quote me. I'll try and do some research on that, and I'll even attempt to do that on one. But I want to say it's much easier to take the legs off. I know you want to give them a cyborg arm, but I don't know if they're removable. And I'm not really willing to break one of the figures to do it. So if one ever does break in the future, I will definitely use that as a dissecting tool. You have gotten the arm off, but not the joint. Thanks for checking too. Oh, okay. You did get the arm off. Okay. I want to assume that if you heat this up enough, you probably deconstruct him down to pieces, kind of similar to Mythic Legions. I'm not sure how modular they are, though. That's the thing. So, but you were saying you couldn't get the joint off. I see. So I see. So the joint piece that connects to the shoulder you couldn't get off. That goes into the torso. And I think that's a straight bar that goes across to the other side. I think it's all one connecting piece. I could be wrong, but that's what it seems like to me. Winter in Buffalo with no salt. Yeah, right. You should see some of the streets. It's like white streets. I'll show you what I mean by the paint rub on the other figures. Oop, yesterday's wine glass. Get that out of there. All right, let me set this up right here. All right, where'd you go, buddy? Here we go. Okay, Peter is Peter's kind of frustrating. It took me about a half hour, 45 minutes to get all this stuff the way I wanted it, especially with gluing. Still, I don't like this belt the way it's set up on him. There's 2 tabs that you have to plug in there, and I glued everything, but it's still like loose and flopping around. When it comes to him, I feel like he's a little bit daintier than some of the newer figures. He also runs a little bit shorter than some of the other newer figures. And just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about, here is one of the Fox Hunter girls. And they do tend to run a little bit taller from Crossfire. She's taller than him, which isn't a big deal. There's tons of women that are taller than men, and there's tons of men that are shorter. That's no big deal to me. And I don't mind that he's shorter, but I'm just kind of pointing that out for you guys. Sometimes it's an issue for some other people. Like here, he's shorter than Jeremy Renner, as I was calling him. This is one of the guys from the Special Forces crew. So he's definitely one of the shorter guys. I want to say he's probably on the same height as Ramaz. He runs a little bit shorter too. He's one of the first released figure waves. I want to say maybe the first 3. There was the North African crew. There was the SSO Spetsnaz. There was these guys, and there were the I think North Korean guys. Ever swap a Marauder's head onto the JoyToy? No, I can do that though. Let me go get a Marauder's head really quick. Okay. Here's a Joe head. This is from the, let's see here. Yep, you can put it on there. There's the Joe head. Sorry, it's the lighting, it's not the camera. So I apologize, but there's the Joe head on there. You do have to take the whole neck peg out. And obviously the skin tones are not going to match. Let's try the Marauder head. I'm using one of these guys. Yep, it'll go on there. It's a little bit loose, but not too bad. There you go. Does look like he has like no neck, but you know, obviously you can account that to him wearing armor. So yeah, it'll fit on the neck peg. So if you don't like these heads, you can go with a Joe head if you want to. Obviously the skin tones will not match. That's the unfortunate thing. But if you're a customizer, oh god, I don't like the way this head is going back on. Come on, buddy. There we go. But, yeah, they will fit on these bodies. And most of these neck pegs are pretty interchangeable. So you shouldn't have too much of an issue. The other issue I have is that Peter, they stopped doing this with the newer figures, but the earlier figures, they started using these magnets. I don't like magnets. They lose polarity over time. They were kind of a bitch to get in there. I lost one. It just flew out of my hands and went into the abyss of nothing, and I can't find it. But I also feel like this is kind of like a lazy way to store a weapon. It just looks like it's floating on his back. I'm just not a big fan of the way that looks. That's a personal thing for the cyborgs, but other than that, he's the only one I've really had any quality control concerns with. I have not had any quality control concerns with any of the other figures whatsoever. I'll do one more little comparison with these guys with a newer body. We'll try to put Joe head on the newer body and see how those neck pegs hold up. I'm pretty sure that they're around the same neck peg, though. But we'll go ahead and try it anyway. Yep, it'll fit right on there. And this is what it'll look like with the head on, the body. There you go. Yeah, Woodman, I'm going to attribute this, the paint issues with just being an earlier wave. And, you know, earlier waves always have quality control concerns with a newer company. You know, it's going to happen. You know, nothing's perfect, you know. So, and a Marauder's head will fit on these bodies. So, you don't like the heads that they come with? If you don't like the fact that they just come with a helmeted head and you want to make your own character into a JoyToy figure, there you go. You got your options. You can put Joe heads on there. You can put Marauder's heads on there and not have an issue. So you don't have to buy a set just because they have a different head sculpt. You can put any head sculpt you want on. So, and I would like to assume I don't own any Chicken Fried Toys figures. You could probably use those head sculpts. You can obviously use the World War II head sculpts on these guys as well. So that's another really good thing. So I'm actually glad that I just did that. Well, I know, or... Alright. Oh, hell, you just renewed my bank. Oh, you just got out of work, Kyle? What else can I show you? I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I'll show you this this set really quick before I let you guys go. So, like I said, I paid $120 for this. I think initially the set was $60, or 50 or $60 at San Diego Comic-Con. What is going on here? Why is there? Okay. This is just a slipcover. This is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive set. It does go for stupid prices now. Totally not worth what it's going for now. This particular one is signed by Austin St. John, which is the Red Ranger. And there you go. So there's the set. Looks pretty cool. Comes with extra heads. Obviously, this is more of a niche set, but it's a pretty cool set to say the least. And this is something I'll probably keep mint on card because it's signed by him, and I like the overall aesthetics of it. You're going to get the Gold Ranger in a separate single carded release. I don't know if they're going to release this guy with the shield on his chest in the future. So, but it's a really nice set though, and I'm glad to have Austin St. John sign that. So that was pretty cool. But if you guys have any more questions, still debating on the APC. I gotta be honest with you guys. I don't think it's not really worth $100 or over $100 to get an APC. Like I said, just use one of your Joe APCs. You can get one of those for way cheaper. Or if you already have the APC, what's the point on on paying for. I don't know. I just don't see, like, the mechs. I get because they have unique designs and they look different from each other. They come with different stuff and they're mechs. They look unique. I like that. An APC is just like, I don't know. They're kind of like a dime a dozen. Oh, the Lennard one? Oh yeah, I would go. Yeah, go for the Lennard one. That's going to be way cheaper. I was talking about the JoyToy one. The JoyToy one, I don't think is worth the money. If that APC drops below, I want to say around the $80 mark, I might consider it. I still think that's high. It's just a. The thing is, it's just another. Like I have like 4 vamps. I could just use one of those, or just get a Pursuit of Cobra vamp. You know, obviously, if I know the Pursuit of Cobra vamps go for a little bit more now, but I don't think they're anywhere near $100. Like 60, I think, yeah, I would definitely pull the trigger. If they were $60, I would definitely pull the trigger. But I don't know. It just looks like a vamp to me. It just looks like a typical vamp that might. I think what was it? The front has like a battering ram thing that you can flip up and down or articulate, but I don't know. It just doesn't do anything really that's all that special. Like a mech can articulate. It can do kicks and punches and hold guns and shoot. You can get it into posing like a flight stuff. Like a vamp just rolls. I don't know. Or the APC, the JoyToy APC. It just rolls. It's just like, I don't know. I would have preferred that they gone with like a plane. I'd pay over $100 for a plane. Sure. A APC or a vamp. You're losing me. You know? But a Lennard vamp? Yeah, I would say if you're trying to get a bunch of different stuff and you want to actually... Lennard stuff is stuff that... The reason why it's cool, and a lot of people miss the point of the core line. There's a really good point to the core line that's not intended. And that's customization. You can not spend a lot on a really good, well-designed, durable vamp from Lennard, customize it, and not have to worry about spending a lot of money on something and then having to customize it. It's cheap. If you mess up, it's not the end of the world. You can just get another one for $10-15. You know? That's the best thing about Lennard and Chap May and all those cheaper toy companies, is that you can do stuff and customize them and make them to your liking. You know, if they have bright colors, you can just repaint them. You can spray paint them. You can do your own designs, you know. That's the cool thing about the cheaper companies. It doesn't always have to say, to me, it doesn't have to say G.I. Joe on it to have fun. Like, it could be anything that's 1/18 scale that's going to bring me pleasure, you know. Those Sunny Days 21st Century Toys. Amazon military toy line. I mean, you can go for the, like, what was it, BBI stuff, but that shit's expensive. And if I'm going to spend money on something that's expensive, I'm going to get JoyToy stuff. Yeah, that's what I agree, Rich. I agree. There's a whole plethora of different stuff, like you were saying, 21st Century Toys and stuff like that, and Sunny Days. That's all stuff that you can just play around with. I agree 100%. When you're playing around with customizing more expensive stuff, like, I don't know if you want to customize JoyToys. Like, I'd almost just leave them alone. The coolest aspect about JoyToy is that none of them have a story. There's no story to these characters yet. You can make your own story. And while you can do that with G.I. Joe 2, they kind of have their own story. Like Rock and Roll, Yeah, you can give him a side mission, but you can't rename Rock and Roll because he's an iconic looking character. You know, these guys are like you could name them whatever the hell you want. You can make them your character. You can okay, Oreo, I'm coming. Um, you can do whatever you want with them. Give them any backstory you want. That's the cool thing about collecting now is that you have all of these different options to work with. Click and play. Yep, click and play. Now I remember what brand it's called. Grabbed now I remember what brand it's called. Grabbed a couple little armored vehicles, painted them black and slapped some Cobra logos. Yeah, you can do that too. Because Cobra doesn't have a whole lot of like. I was talking to Strident when we were hanging out last weekend. We were chatting, and I was like, we were both kind of pointing out the fact that Cobra doesn't have specific vehicles for functions when they should, and Joe doesn't have specific vehicles for functions that they should. Like water-based Joes, they have what? Devilfish and the whale. And how many people are army building whales? Not a whole lot of people. I wouldn't say the majority of people probably have maybe one, maybe two. That's it. I have one that's not even complete. Like, they're few and far between that you get those. So, we were noticing that, and then we were kind of discussing like how, on the Joe side, it seems like they have more when it comes to like ground-based stuff. And Cobra only has like his tanks, different versions of his tanks. They never went outside the his tank and kind of evolved. Where G.I. Joe had the Grizzly, the Mauler, a plethora of other different tanks and such, and even like APCs and stuff like that. And Cobra didn't have a whole lot. When it came to helicopters, Cobra only had what? The Fang? The Fang is kind of lame, if you ask me. I don't know. You're exposed. It just looks... I don't like the design. It just looks like you're in a go-kart with a spindle on your head. I don't know. It just looks ridiculous. But even the trouble bubbles. I was never a big fan of the trouble bubbles. They just look silly to me. It fit the aesthetic of Cobra, but it still looked, I don't know, inept when you're going up against a fighter jet or even an assault helicopter. But not enough people care about the Cobra Imp. The Imp is, I mean, it's not a lot of people's favorite. I can appreciate it for being a unique design. I don't, like, if it was an actual real thing that existed and Cobra existed, I'd be like, it's kind of in the same wheel well as, like, the twin battle gun. Like, you have to set it up at a place and put it down, and then, But here again, I'm trying to make logic out of G.I. Joe, which I shouldn't, because it's fantasy. You can do whatever you want in your head. If you like it, go for it. Who cares? Your head would get PPQD. But yeah. Personally, I would like to see if they started with a 1/18 scale again from G.I. Joe. They would really have to, like I said, they would have to maybe... I would actually prefer them to raise the prices a little bit and give us better detail, better sculpt, more vehicles, obviously. I'm sure a lot of people... We all know how important vehicles and play sets are to G.I. Joe. And obviously you'd have the 6-inch line... And a lot of people are like, they're split right down the middle. It's either you're one or the other. It's you can't like both 6-inch and 1/18 scale. But you gotta remember this: the 6-inch stuff is going to help the 1/18 stuff exist, and it's going to help the budget overall. Even though they're different teams of people, it's still under the same banner, and one being successful is going to help the other. And you look, and quote me, because Hasbro messed up initially with taking away the vintage line, which was successful, and it pissed off a lot of people. And guess what? The vintage line is back because a lot of people complained that they took the 1/18 scale away. So I don't want to hear this business from people that are like, oh, the 1/18 scale line's dead from GI. No, stop it. It's not going anywhere. They're going to do it. So it's more people like the whole Kappa thing where people were setting their hair on fire about Kappa. And guess what? How many channels have been disintegrated by Kappa? I mean, I don't know of any. Not to say that there aren't, but just saying. A lot of people are setting their hair on fire before anything happens, and I don't really see how it actually hurts people. It doesn't appeal to me, yes. 6-inch figures for G.I. Joe don't appeal to me, but what's wrong with them existing? I don't see a problem with it, you know? And it might help G.I. Joe become relevant again. Who knows? Marvel Legends existed since 2002, 2003. It's one of the most successful lines. Whenever people I have come with a ton, I like the skills. I have 15 with I don't know what you're trying to say there, action figure expert. But yeah. Yeah, but I mean, because it from a logical standpoint, it makes sense for people to have the option of having that. And people said the same thing about when G.I. Joe was 12-inch and went to 3 3/4 inch. They were like, what the hell is this? Why would they ever do this? We love 12-inch figures. Why would we go down to what 4-inch figures? Who's going to want that? A lot of people did. So, you know. So I don't have a problem with it existing. It's not my cup of tea, so I don't need to buy them. I don't need to get into all that, because if I need I mean, this is what I've also been kind of pondering, like, do I really need to buy another Dusty? I have enough. I don't know. I have the 12-inch Sideshow one. I have all the other figures. I have a custom Dusty. I don't really need a 6-inch Dusty. Maybe my tone will change down the road. I don't know. I doubt it. But, and watch like 2 years from now, I'm going to have the 6-inch Dusty. Look like a hypocrite. But like I said, I don't have a problem with the line existing. I think a lot of people will like it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it existing. So, but yeah, so much for a quick video, huh? I'm here for 93 minutes now. So, but it was nice hanging out with you guys. Nice talking to you guys as always. I just want them to make a good Falcon. I think, you know what would be really cool if they did more realistic versions. I don't want to see, my thing is, I don't want to see a 6-inch line of G.I. Joes and that we're stuck on stupid again, and we're going back to the 25th anniversary shit, or, 1986 or 82. I would like to see more realistic look. Like if G.I. Joe was actual real life, I would like to see sculpts like that, kind of how they did with the Rebels figures for Star Wars The Black Series, how they didn't make them animated looking, they made them look like if they were in a real life universe, they made them look realistic. That's what I want for 6-inch Joe. If they're going to do that, and they make them and they give them the detail of like a movie Marvel Legends figure or a Star Wars The Black Series figure, if they put that tender love and care into those, I might be intrigued. All depending, like if they took Sideshow Collectibles, what they did with that G.I. Joe line, and they applied it to a 6-inch figure, I might be intrigued then. Because if they look like, you know, the same old Cold War shit, I'm gonna get bored quick. I'm not gonna even be like, no, get that away from me. I don't need that shit. But if they're like, even if they did like a subline or maybe one figure per wave where they were kind of Pursuit of Cobra-esque, I'd be intrigued. If they did some sort of concept artwork, or concept, like they gave an artist they were like, give us some concept artwork of what futuristic G.I. Joe would look like. If they gave us something like that, like a Future Soldier style figure, that would be cool. That would be something that would interest me. Cold War stuff doesn't really interest me anymore. I'm over it. I got enough of it. I don't need any more of it. So that's me personally. Thanks again for showing the new figures. Definitely helped me make a decision to pick some up. Yeah, you should. I mean, like I said, the JoyToy is a really good adult collector line, and like I said, it's not budget friendly. I don't think it's not really meant to be budget friendly. It's kind of like collecting SH Figure Arts, you know. Collecting, apparently Mafex is more expensive than SH Figure Arts, which still blows my mind that people pay $90 to $100 for a Mafex figure. I think I would say these are more on the Figure Arts comparison level to a my brain just stopped working. To a mass-produced figure is what I'm trying to say. So, but yeah, so that's kind of what you have to tell yourself. Do you want to put a lot of money and time and effort into this line? You kind of have to maybe pick your poison. If you don't, cherry pick as much as possible if you don't have the budget. And there's nothing wrong with not having the budget, because fuck, I had to work my ass off to get a lot of these figures, and I actually had to cancel a lot of pre-orders because at the time that these were coming out, I didn't have the money for them, so I had to cancel a whole bunch of orders for these, like the U.S. Marine Corps stuff. Even this set right here, I had to cancel, which I wanted. But you know, I had to work my balls off to get this stuff. So you really have to want these figures to get them all, I guess. I don't know if I'm going to get them all, but I'm going to get the ones that I like, definitely. Those squads are pretty economical, especially compared to their individual released figures. Yeah, I want to say that if you're on a budget, that's why they don't sell them separately, though. Because they wouldn't be selling them for $15 a piece. They'd be $24, $25 a piece for a single card release. Because I feel like they would have to spend more money on the packaging. They would have to spend more money on probably having them with their stuff already on. I don't think the quality control is any different. I want to say the paint's probably a little bit better on some of the Paladin figure. And the CIA operative, when they came with all their stuff on already, and then they came with a plethora of different stuff. These also come with less accessories than some of the single-carded release figures. So the budget is a little bit less. And like I said, depending on where you buy these, your budget's going to be different too. They're a lot cheaper if you go to like Locker Toys. So if you're a budget-friendly person, and you know, I think Locker Toys ships within like 1 or 2 weeks, something like that. I want to say. So you should probably get it within a week or two-ish. The waits for shipping with overseas stuff is not what it used to be. I remember when they were like, it would take like a fucking like month or two before I would get anything. So I was just like, oh, well, I'll just wait. No big deal. Especially when it came to Figure Arts figures. I want to say even just a few years ago, it would take way longer than it takes now. Everything is like, even some overseas. I think Locker Toys does USPS shipping, so it'll be a lot faster. Jason Tran, what's up, man? You just came, so I'll give you a look-see as to what I was unboxing or hauling. I can't call it unboxing. I'm just kidding. But here's the Force Recon team that I picked up. Let me get this out of the way. Obviously, they don't have any of their stuff on, but this is the Force Recon team. All of these head sculpts are new head sculpts. Are kind of I don't think they were reused with anybody else. All of the headgear is, like I said, an original sculpt. It's not removable or anything like that. So it's all sculpted onto the heads. That's what kind of sets this set apart from other sets. A lot of the other sets either are using helmeted heads with most of their figures in the set, or they're using reused heads. This set does not reuse any heads. So it's kind of a breath of fresh air as far as that's concerned. This set, like I said, just an FYI on this specific set, it's a little bit more difficult to get. You could probably find them. I don't know if they're on Locker Toys anymore. I know that they're sold out on Big Bad Toy Store and Big Boy Collectibles. So that's kind of a hindrance. You can find them on eBay. They're a little bit more expensive on eBay. I think they're like anywhere from $90 to $115 on eBay. Shipped. So you can try and find them. They are selling out quick. What was it? I put in an order for a set for $90, and I got an email through eBay saying that they had to cancel my order because they didn't realize that they sold out. So I had to purchase from somebody else. So I spent about $100 on this set. So not what I wanted to spend, but I did want the set. So, and I still kicking myself for canceling the pre-order when I did months ago. But I couldn't afford them now. I couldn't afford them then, so I can afford them now. So, but that is what I had to spend. I spent $100. So, the hinges are black. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it doesn't bother me that much because you know what? If they would have painted these hinges, they would just scrape off anyway. So, I don't know. I can let that go, and I can actually, in my head, I just like to imagine that these are, because you know how sometimes with military, like BDUs, they always have like patch areas that are like different colors, or they'll be like a lighter color or a darker color, or they'll have black and green together. I like to attribute that to like maybe that's some sort of like mesh material that's flexible for their uniform, if you really want to get into it. So I can use my imagination for that, and just that doesn't really bother me too much. And they have black gloves and black boots, and I don't think it's too much of a deal breaker, really. But yeah, like you said, it's just a gripe. I get it. I totally understand. Oh man, I'm pounding these waters. Locker Toys are pretty fast at shipping, considering it's overseas. Yeah, like I said, they use USPS, and you can even use, I want to say USPS is probably the fastest method. And I think their shipping averages around $8, $9, depending on, how much you buy, obviously. I think one set of 5 figures, or no, I want to still get that SEAL Team 6, because they look pretty cool and unique. I'd like to pick up that team, and I think they quoted at around $8 for shipping, which is not bad at all. Usually with an SH Figure Arts figure that I buy from like Ami, it's around like $20 to ship, $15-20 to ship, which is absurd. But I don't think they use USPS. So, do I think the Marauder's hands would fit? No. The reason why I say that is because these guys' pegs are larger pegs going into here, and the hinge joints are very frail. That's another kind of a concern that I have with some of these figures, is that a lot of these hinge joints that kind of connect the hand to the hinge joint, they're dainty. Some of them do come a little warped out of package for the hand and the hinge joint where the wrist kind of bends like this. I noticed that with a couple figures. I don't know if how much you really want to mess with these. Like I said, when it comes to customizing, beyond like a head swap, I don't know how much you want to mess around with these. To be honest, I'm just trying to be as honest as I possibly can. I really don't know how much you want to mess around with some of these. So, whoa, there goes the phone. I'm bumping into things. Shipping was 12 something for the mech. Well, yeah, the mech's going to be a lot larger. I think the mech, I'll show you the mech box that it came in. I don't mind paying $12 for a mech box that's this large. That has to be shipped with a 12-inch or 9-inch figure in it. That's the size of the mech box. There's a 4-inch figure. There's a 4-inch figure. There's the mech box. And most of the mech boxes are going to be around this height. If you get the 124 scale mechs, they're going to be around 9 inches tall. That's about 12 inches tall right there, just under 12 inches. So that's the box the Freeman came in for the 118 scale stuff. The 124 scale stuff, it's a little bit smaller of a box, but not too much. So I don't mind paying. It's all, like I said, it's all about weight for them. That's what shipping goes by. They go by weight, not by how large something is. So if it weighs more, it's going to cost more for shipping. So I don't mind $12 for a mech ship. That's actually pretty cheap. Yeah, Rich, I did see the blanks that they're making. I'm intrigued, but I'm really shitty at painting figures. I'm really bad at it. Obviously, practice would make perfect, but I get worried if I mess a figure up, like, that's it. I've done messed it up. There's no coming back now. I think they're more compatible with Acid Rain. Yeah, certain pieces are. You can swap, I want to say the legs with Acid Rain figures if you want to make these guys a little bit taller. But then you'll obviously have to paint the legs. The legs are compatible. The torso pieces, the torso pegs are not compatible. That I know for a fact. The peg holes are different, and the peg sizes are a little bit thicker on Acid Rains than they would be on a JoyToy figure. The heads, I think, are compatible. I have seen some people swap heads with them. So that I do know for a fact. You can swap heads. Sorry. I want to say most of the 118 scale stuff is compatible with different heads. Like I showed, the Joe stuff is compatible. The Marauders Task Force head swaps are compatible. So you have that as an option as well. So, but yeah, definitely, Jason, thanks for the observation there. And I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to kind of talk about the Acid Rain stuff. I do plan on picking up some Acid Rain stuff, and I'm probably going, like I said, I'm going to start my own universe with Acid Rain versus JoyToy. And I'm probably going to use Acid Rain figures as more of like a alien type, seeing as they have like longer, disproportionate body limbs and stuff like that. So we're going to do like the JoyToy guys and girls up against the Acid Rain guys and girls, and that's going to be pretty cool. So, I think it'll be it's a fun concept to work with. And, kind of, Acid Rain kind of has that dingy, grimy look too. So it'd be nice to see two different styles go up against each other, But yeah, I definitely got this is a lot of fun doing this. And like I said, expect a full review on all the JoyToy figures. I'm probably going to do a live review this Sunday. Just reiterating that just so I hammer that home. But I finally have a day off. You plan on picking up any more Woo figures? Yes, the War of Order figures, I do plan on picking some more of those up. I'd like to get the Assassin figure from Woo. I think there'd be a lot of... there's a couple other designs I like too. It's just all about... if I'm going to spend $30, I'm probably going to spend $30 towards these guys first, and then down the line, I'd probably like to pick up some more Woo figures. But I wanted to get that medic specifically for a team. So, but yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much it. Unless you guys have any more questions, but I do have to call my girlfriend, so she just tried to call me, so I might have to let you guys go. Hey ODC, has Kappa affected your channel in any way? No, has not affected my channel at all. So, but yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you everybody for popping in and hanging out. It was a lot of fun. I'll just say thank you to everybody. Shout outs to everybody. I'm not gonna go through the whole list this time, unfortunately, because I got to call her back. Or I want to call her back, but you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Dem Guts. Thanks, Woodman. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Holland Bricks, Kyle, Action Figure Addict. Don't worry, I'll check your message. I know you just messaged me. And like I said, if you guys ever want to hang out, play some video games together, I'm on PS4, and you can just find me. Be sure to send me a friend's request. It's just ODC, that's me, on, I think it's ODC, that's me, or it's Nickel City Kid. It's one of the two. I'm sure if you find, you'll find me. Just send me a friend request, and I'll accept it, and we can play some video games together too. That'd be a lot of fun. So, with that being said, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you to my new phone. I know I dropped it multiple times, but I have a really good $60 case for it. So it's a very shock absorbent case. So anyway, I digress. I'll talk to you all later. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said, expect a review this Sunday. Probably going to be in the evening time. But you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me again. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.